from Rudiger. Delayed blowing of the whistle from today's referee, Jesus Gil Manzano. He's another player who's had to be forced back into the team. Rudiger has still no Mundi, Howson, Alaba, or Carvajal through injury. And Asensio does return to the squad this week for Real Madrid. Rego. Rudiger. It's well played by Real Madrid. Camavinga. Carreras. It's well intercepted by Vivian, and he knocked it out of play.
With Xabi Alonso, and from the first minute, Bruno, it looks like there's like a square in midfield, like a diamond shape with Vini and Mbappe a little bit more as strikers, but I think that Vini will naturally come to the left side to receive the ball, and this is a long ball from Mbappe.
Looking for Kylian Mbappe, who scored 23 out of Real Madrid's 41 goals in all competitions this season. That's been a suggestion that has been certain Mbappe dependence for Real Madrid. Carreras can't control. That pass from Militao.
Well, it's a typical ball that where you're receiving, you're already looking at the position of your teammates, and then you lose the ball for half a second, and then you miscontrol it.
Ligue. Plenty of headers going on. Finally, Galarreta puts the ball back down on the turf. Nico Williams. He's underplayed the pass for Adama Boido. He responded well. Young fullback who's had limited playing time behind Yuri Berchiche.
Well, actually, only 2 games in La Liga and 1 start for Adama Boido, but the reality is that Yuri Berchiche is on a high level again, so it's difficult to play ahead of him.
He's made that decision his for many a year now, Yuri Berchiche at Athletic Club. As Laporte hits it down to the path of Kylian Mbappe. Carreras joins him. Chips it towards Fede Valverde inside the box. He's looking to tee it up for Kylian Mbappe. Wasn't perhaps the best option available to him. Vini. Cut out by the Athletic defence. It's Alex Berenguer.
Well, I don't know if you agree with me that we're normally talking about the Williams brothers, but I think the Berenguer is a level as a player. Can play as false 9 in the 2 wings. Such a what's it, Mbappe?
Mbappe making the most of a mistake by Dani Vivian. Mbappe, it's cleared off the line. Well, you can ill afford to make that kind of mistake with Kylian Mbappe in the form that he's been in this season. Fortunately for Vivian, though, he was let off the hook by his teammate on the line.
Well, that was a great chance. I'm sure there is a block when Mbappe was about to have a shot, but I think Mbappe have a lot of options to finish. The dribbling was perfect. He was in front of the goal, and I think it could have been better. But as we were saying, I think that another counter.
Another chance as Madrid win the ball back, and Vini forces Unai Simon into the first save of the game. It's 4.5 minutes into the fixture. Corner's taken quickly. Mbappe for Vini. Chouameni.
Well, very quickly, Berenguer is a good form. That's what I was going to say. Because every time we're trying to explain there is a chance, which is good for the game and for the spectators. So,
absolutely,
well done, Berenguer.
He's always been seen as sort of the 12th man, but
exactly,
he's always there. He doesn't pick up too many injuries, and he's ended up playing more than Iñaki and Nico Williams this season.
Well, 12 games, 11 stars. So one of the players been more used for Valverde. That's a great save, Unai.
So 2 saves by Unai already in this game. Rego. Berenguer. Williams. It's a difficult pass he was looking for. As Trent switches play, finds Kylian Mbappe. Great first touch from him. He's coming to the left, still Mbappe!
Market suspended.
Well, he's in red-hot form, and he's done it again. There was mentioning a suggestion of Mbappe dependence. Well, it's now 24 out of Real Madrid's 42 goals this season, and they take an early lead, a much-needed early lead at San Mamés.
I mean, what else can we say, Bruno? He's done everything right, everything. Control the ball. These first 10-15 meters is so powerful. He just got the advantage, and then was driving, looking at the circumstances, the possibilities. Vinicius was on the left. He decided to go himself and finish. Well, what a goal. But again, I think Athletic Club in defense a little unprotected. It is that too easy for Mbappe against Leque, and then there's no time for the midfielders to arrive and help. Well, this is the typical counter-attack you don't want to happen when you play against Real Madrid. Well, it happened after 6 minutes. And now it's more complicated.
Taking an early lead, there was 2 players involved, really. Trent Alexander-Arnold with the switch of play, and then Mbappe, who went past 3 Athletic Club defenders at 1-0. And I'm sure Xabi Alonso will be feeling a huge sigh of relief with the pressure that he was heading into this game. It's also been a positive start in terms of the attitude of Real Madrid in this game.
Yeah, because it's always difficult. The first minute in San Mamés, normally you feel the pressure of Athletic Club. They normally press high with a lot of intensity. Well, it's not been the case in this game.
Toa. Trent. Militao. Throw into Real Madrid. Well, they found a way out there. Looked like there wasn't too much progress to be made.
Well, he's supposed to be happy. Still talking to Vinicius, possibly about some movements.
He didn't seem the happiest there, did he?
Yeah, well, but you need to complement well when you play in a 4-4-2 and with another striker who's very close to you. You need to talk a lot. Who is coming close? Who's going forward? And well, they need to be complementary. But at the moment, they look pretty good to me. More problems for Athletic Club to have the ball, isn't it?
Struggling again to come out from the back. They've given possession back to Real Madrid, who have dominated the game completely so far. Rudiger.
It is fair to say, Bruno, that you, of course, you're a follower of Athletic Club. That's fantastic again.
The 1-2, and AC1, that's come a very long way in close.
If you don't want a player being injured in Athletic Club, that's Iñaki. Is it possibly the most important player for the team?
In terms of the influence, captain, leadership, and what he offers the team, it's been a huge absence for Ernesto Valverde this season.
More than Ollán Sanset, more than Nico Williams. At the moment, I think he's possibly the most important player for Atleti.
Definitely in terms of what he brings to the dressing room. I think in terms of the raw quality, Nico Williams, you'd argue, is the number 1 player, but Iñaki Williams, because of what he symbolises for Athletic Club, has been a huge
also in
miss.
terms of the first press, he's the one who goes pressing
because he's much more active in that sense than Nico Williams, for example. But he's been out for 6 weeks now. Iñaki Williams are hoping that he can return fairly soon. Militao.
This is the 4th ball in 10 minutes that Madrid are trying to play long at the back of the defense of Athletic Club. even if you don't succeed in this first ball, what you're doing is you send the rival back to the to the area, and of course there's a lot of space in midfield in the case that the ball drops for the midfielder. So and on top of that, Mbappe and Vinicius are very fast. So well, they're not elaborating a lot in midfield, but they already use 4 times these long balls.
Trent. Valverde. Given back to him by Vinny. Camavinga looks up and sprays the ball out wide to Trent. He again looks for Mbappe. Back heel from him towards Carreras. It was Berenguer sprinting back to block the cross. And looking very comfortable so far out there on the field of play.
Fantastic touch, great quality, with an objective, because there are some players that they do that just to maybe show off. He did it with an objective, which is Carreras overlapping. And well, Madrid, as you said, pretty comfortable. They only struggled once in the build-up. Good press from Athletic, but apart from that, easy the switching of play, easy the long balls. So pleasure 10 minutes for Real Madrid.
Trent's corner. So then Militao is coming in like a steam train. Galarreta falls to Trent and they'll recycle the move, playing it back to Thibaut Courtois. Fede Valverde.
Well, I was looking at the next games of Athletic.
Tough week.
Yeah, Atletico de Madrid and then PSG, both at home, but not easy calendar.
That's what they're facing this season, and needing points in the Champions League as well. Struggling to make the cut right now.
Well, PSG is not the easiest.
No.
But apart from that, they doing what they normally are asked to do with this. And Rego is another example, isn't it? So players from the academy, they go to the first team, they have minutes, Jaureguiza, Rego, well, the list should be unendable. But well, they keep doing that very good, which is their essence, isn't it?
Rego, somebody who made his debut just a couple of months ago, was already settled into the team, so it's the first time that he will be facing Real Madrid. There's Nico Williams, the chance to run now. Looks up, puts the cross in towards Guruceta. Well, it's off target, but at least it's a ball into the box, and it's a move finished off by Athletic. It's finally given the fans something to scream about and chant about.
Well, this is Athletic Club, isn't it? Recovery balls and playing to flanks and crossing the balls to the striker. In this case is Gorka Guruceta. And well, good cross from Nico. I think the main problem is that they don't have the ball enough. And I don't think that the press of Real Madrid is very, very intense not to be able to play from the back. Because at the moment that they have the ball, they are good by putting the ball wide and crosses, but they just need this first line to have the ball and get through. Like now, let's see if they can evolve.
Took a little bit too long on the ball, Rego. Athletic keep possession. Jaureguiza was looking to play it out to Berenguer, but Valverde intercepted the pass. Courtois is giving it straight back to Lequit. With a chance to cross, blocked by Bellingham. How about that between Mbappe and Vinny? Vinny will attempt to take on Vivian. The Brazilian still has the ball. Camavinga. Carreras. To Rudiger. Vinny. Initially seemed to go down a little bit easily, but I think Vivian followed through. The referee blew his whistle.
Well, it's playing his advantages, isn't it? It was a previous challenge with Vivian. Vivian won the ball, but you know, Vinny is the one that he doesn't matter. He just gets the ball and keep going and taking players on 1, 2, 3 times. He did well. He just won the free kick, and that is very dangerous considering that this man is going to take the free kick.
The service has been brilliant for Real Madrid since joining, continuing what he's done throughout his entire career. Trent to the near post, ricochets off Vinny.
Not the best of his service.
No.
In this time.
Not this time. Fortunately for an athletic club, Madrid couldn't make the most of that set piece. This is Valverde. Rudiger.
Madrid are doing well. They bring in Tchouaméni in the build-up, or Camavinga now with the 2 centre backs. So they made a line of 3, and Carreras is farther forward. So it's very difficult for Nico Williams to decide. Nico always have to play us. He needs to decide if he goes to Rudiger, if he stays with Carreras. And in the meantime, he's always late in the pressing. So this is something that Real Madrid are doing very good. It's just because they put a third man in the build-up.
Something for Valverde to try and address for his side. Ligue leaves the ball to Nico.
Swap flanks with Berenguer. That's not usual to see Nico on the right.
Market suspended.
Courtois. André can't control the ball. This invites Real Madrid forward, so there's a slight lapse in communication between their attacking players. Vinny. Mbappe into space for Vinny. He's got too much pace for Ligue. Unai Simon comes a long way. Vinny passed it across the box, but there were no teammates.
Yeah, I think he should have finished himself, but look how easy it is. So he receives the ball. He knows that he's faster than any of the Athletic Club defenders, and his only objective is, I'm going to pass the ball, I'm going to run. If my teammate gives me the ball with a good timing, I'm gone. And that's very difficult to defend when a player or a striker is quicker than the defenders. And then the finishing was very good. But he could have finished himself. Strange not to see Mbappe in the finishing until I don't know what it was, but it was a bit late.
Let's see if Trent can provide better service this time around.
Market suspended.
Comes towards the near post, headed away comfortably by Guruzeta. Carreras. Camavinga. Trent. There's one towards the back post. Unai Simon comes a very long way. At the second attempt, smothers the ball. Tries to set his team away on the counter. Jaureguizar. Slowed down the move. Played it short to Galarreta. Rego. Nico Williams can look to take on Camavinga. Outside of the foot. Perhaps not the cross he was looking or hoping for.
The thing is that, in my opinion, the 2 wingers feel more comfortable on the left. So Berenguer feels more comfortable playing on the left to come inside, and Nico is the same. So the one that he plays on the right, playing to his natural foot, he has more difficulties.
This cross is caught comfortably by Courtois.
Because Nico is also very good by coming inside and have his shot on goal. In the national team also plays on the left, so it's strange to see him playing on the right for such a long time.
Well, the goal of the month, we saw the award earlier on, was that goal against Oviedo on the left-hand side, where he cut inside and went past 3 of the other defenders.
Well, now is Guruceta on the right, Nico as a striker. Well, they keep swapping positions.
Valverde's tinkering and looking for the solution.
Still didn't find this number 9.
Since Aduriz.
Exactly. So he tried with Sanadi, he tried with Guruceta, he tried with even Iñaki Williams playing that position. But as you said, since Aduriz, that's a long time ago.
It's been an issue for Athletic Club, but of course, with the policy and of signing only Basque players, sometimes it just simply, that player isn't available.
Yeah.
They'll continue to work hard, I'm sure, at Lefama, to try and make sure that somebody comes through. Bellingham. Valverde. Trent. Camavinga switches play. There seems to be space on this left-hand side where they look to team up and take on Lique, who is struggling so far in this game. Carreras makes it into the box. Mbappe looking to tee it up for Camavinga. Now he can turn. Feeds the ball to Vinny. Militao.
Where's the boy saying, come out, come out, come out. They're coming out, but the problem is that defense are coming out, but they cannot get the ball back. So they're keeping up and down, forward, backwards, but they don't have the possession. And Real Madrid are doing very well the switching play. I think they know clearly that going from right to left, left to right, they activate any type of pressure that Athletic Club can do.
Carreras, space there in the heart of the Athletic defence. They've won back the ball. Lique. Dibian. Booted away by Rudiger. Little will try and get there, and he does. He can't keep the ball in play. There've been a couple of times there where you've seen the Athletic defence clearing the ball long, and you were talking about Aduriz, and I was thinking if he was there, he'd be able to hold it up and they could come out a little bit.
Exactly, you can play that if you have a player who's a specialist on that. So even before Aduriz, Llorente was another player that was very, very physical and he could hold those balls. But normally when we're talking football, Bruno, that a team, let's see, Bellingham.
Bellingham's got options to the left and to the right. Decides to go to Vinny. Vinny cuts inside, takes a deflection and falls to Unai.
No, I was saying that when people say, well, this team don't have the possession of the ball, they don't have the ball, don't have the control, because most of the teams, 95% in modern football, they already press forward. So the players that depend that the team have or not the possession in modern football are the defenders, and mainly the centre backs. Because when you are pressed, you normally play the ball back to start playing. But when the centre backs or fullbacks receive that ball, if they have in their mind that they need to keep playing from the back, then you have a possibility. If you don't want to risk it, if the manager say don't risk in this area and you clear it, then it's very difficult that you get the control of the game, because you won't get it, because these long balls normally you lose it. So the centre backs in modern football are very, very important in the build-up, possibly the most important players.
Oh, stayed there by Valverde. Guruceta forces Courtois into a save. That's the closest Athletic have come in this game to finding the back of the net, and San Mamés roars. It was all out of that mistake from Fede Valverde, the turnover. As we know, that's when teams are most vulnerable. swinger is cleared by Bellingham.
Well, in fact, the two chances from Athletic Club come from two recoveries. So by themselves, creating possibly is not the best game, but well, the 2 or 3 times that they recover the ball, they create a chance.
Bellingham. Carreras. Trent. Back to Militao. Now it's Carreras. Bellingham making the run into the channel. Vinny trying to flip the ball past Nico Williams. Does at least earn his side a throw in deep inside the Athletic half. Although they opt to go back towards Rudiger.
Well, and again, they build with 3. Possibly it's not needed now because there's only one striker pressing, but
Vinny, let's see that he fancies his chances against Leque.
I'm thinking of marking a player like Vinny. I was right back myself, and he's really a nightmare because you don't really know what to do. If you give him some space, he can receive the ball and start driving with the ball and going inside and play 1-2s or whatever. If you mark him very closely, he can ask for the ball in behind, and then he's faster than you. So you really need the help of 1-2 players.
So far, it's been very one-sided between Vinny and Leque. The Athletic skippers found it very difficult to keep Vinicius quiet. And again, they're targeting this left-hand side. Tchouaméni. Carreras. Vinny, this time he's up against Vivian. It's Carreras who makes the overlapping run. Flicks it inside. Holds off Danny Vivian. Can Athletic play it out from the back? That goes long. And Militao's got far more pace in his locker than Guruzeta.
That's the opposite, isn't it? So the defenders are faster than the striker, because Rudiger also is faster than Guruzeta. So you have Iñaki there.
It's exactly what I was going to say.
You can try to play these balls, but with Guruzeta, it's going to be very difficult.
And I suppose it also makes the Real Madrid defence be a little bit more wary. They know, hey, they can play a long ball in behind us, let's watch out. And now they can think, I'm comfortable going forward because there's no threat.
Exactly. Even in the counter-attacks, Iñaki is always a threat. But in this case, I think that possibly the only one who can really run in behind is Berenguer. But at the moment, pretty comfortable for Real Madrid.
Militao, it's almost half an hour at San Mamés. Real Madrid winning by a 1-0 courtesy of a Mbappe strike after 6 minutes. It's been relatively straightforward for them. Courtois was called into action about 5 minutes ago by Guruzeta. Rego. He's played it blindly straight to Bellingham. Vinny. Jaureguizar. Adama Boido. Guruzeta. Berenguer's making the run in behind. It will fall to him. Alex Berenguer. What a save by Thibaut Courtois. Well, there was a little bit of fortune involved in that ball falling so favourably to Alex Berenguer. But it's Thibaut Courtois, for the umpteenth time in his career, coming to the rescue for Real Madrid.
I think the play has been great, very typical from Nico, from Berenguer, from the left, coming inside, receiving this ball. Well, that's a super save because I think Berenguer did it well. Normally 9 out of 10 chances Berenguer scored, but he had in front Thibaut Courtois, who's a super goalkeeper.
He's a goalkeeper that's won trophies and got so many points on the board for Real Madrid over the years. He does very well to win that back off of Berenguer.
Yeah, I think it's a mistake from the linesman. I think there's not a foul there on Bellingham. I'm talking about Courtois. Bruno is very big. He's very tall. There's not offside to Nico. Good back pass, but I mean, he's sharp for his height because he's very, very, very tall and he's very sharp in the movements. No, even when he receives a shot and he has to react quick with his feet, it's pretty quick. So it's not easy when you play. It might be 190 something.
I can imagine also if you're betting again, you've got 1 second to shoot. You can see him coming out.
Exactly.
I suppose the goal looks very small.
Yeah.
Berenguer. He will try and make something out of that high ball. Trent comes out on top and he's almost given it straight to Gurufeto. Couldn't control the back pass. Camavinga. Been some minor sloppy mistakes at the back from Real Madrid, which haven't been punished, but been very close to being.
This is normally happening, Bruno, when you are superior to your rival, when you're so comfortable on the pitch, you look like you relax yourself a little bit. This 10% that it makes you lose concentration. If the game would have been 50-50, then the tension, you don't commit mistakes because you are aware of everything. But when you are relaxed, normally these mistakes happen.
Liquid.
Now on the side. This is what they miss. Real Madrid are doing well. They need to switch more to play to the other side quick.
Gets invited Fede Valverde to make the interception. Mbappe and Vinny both running through. Simon comes a long way from home and it hits the post from Vinny Jr. Well, the linesman doesn't raise his flag. I think we were both waiting for him to suggest it was offside. Mbappe was certainly onside, but Vinny was a mile onside as well.
Yeah.
That was very close to being 2-0, and it was a difficult, narrow angle for him. He almost turned it in. Down the other end, Athletic look to respond. Berenguer.
Well, I'm sure that he wanted to have a shot on goal, but a square pass to Mbappe would have been a good option also. But yeah, he decided to go for goal. But again, too easy, isn't it? It's just a running behind the centre back and a huge amount of space to run.
Been finding the back of that Athletic defence for fun this evening, Real Madrid. Berenguer couldn't find Liquid. Will be a Real Madrid throw. Another angle of that magnificent Thibaut Courtois save. It's that left arm outstretched, firm from the Belgian keeper, denying Alex Berenguer. Now he sprays it out wide to Trent. That's something that he's also improved in his game.
Very much. That's something that in the past years they've been working a lot with him, and that's crucial for Real Madrid.
Mistake at the back as they're trying to be a little bit too cute. Nico Williams, however, is dispossessed by Camavinga. Plays an awkward ball to Jude Bellingham. Bibian. Rego. Lama Boido draws in a low cross, which is cleared by the Real Madrid defence. Berenguer.
I think that in general, Athletic Club are having a lot of respect for Real Madrid. And somehow that is not helping them in attack. I mean, normally they are a team that the fullbacks are very good offensive. Yuri, of course, on the left, or other players on the left. Today, Lueco has been very shy. Adama Boyd has been very shy also on the left. So no overlapping, no possibilities to make good crosses into the last third. So at the moment, the fullbacks pretty shy. And that's not the best of the throwing.
Well, he's played it straight into the chest of Bellingham. The Athletic wing back the ball. Ruiz de Galarreta.
You see, you look there and you don't see. Now you start to see the left back. So he should be forward quicker.
Nico Williams. Go the long way round. Now Boydo back to Nico. The ball towards the 6-yard box. Rudiger wins the header. Gurufeta with the follow-up, but very difficult to inject any power or pace into his header.
But that's a good option. Good cross from Adama. Possibilities to Athletic Club to finish. They put a lot of players into the finishing, into the box, and well, that's an option. But Adama looks shy. Normally, when Nico Williams has to play the ball to Yuri because of Yuri's experience, so for what it means for the club, it's easy for Nico to give the ball to Yuri to give it to Adama Boydo. But they need to keep working on that.
And there's that ball, the diagonal to Vinny. Unai Simon can also pull off those kinds of saves. But it's the rear-view mirror of Leque, which has been an issue for Athletic. Nico Williams. Referee's blown his whistle. Too happy with somebody.
Well, I think it should be with Leque or Vivian, because that's too easy what happened with Vinny Jr. receiving that ball. It's a long ball that you could see coming, and the advantage was very, very big for Vinny.
They've employed it time and time again in this first half, and it's worked almost every single time for Real Madrid. Rudiger. Bellingham shields the ball well from Galarreta. Vinny back to Bellingham. Mbappe. Comes off of Rego. Will be a corner for Real Madrid.
Well, and a player that we haven't been talking a lot. This is the previous pass that Leque just reacts very, very late. So he should be always at the back of Vinny. He should be between Vinny and the goal, and he's
wrong side, isn't it?
Exactly, and in front of him, so you can never defend a striker like this. And a player that we haven't been talking a lot because he didn't create much, but he's everywhere and giving always options, moving his Bellingham. Is unbelievable what he gives to the team.
Trent, that's a deeper corner. Cleared by Rego. Contact made by Valverde. And that rebound will fall favourably to Nico Williams. I think that's where you can see the physical issues that he's got. A couple of years ago, he would have gone straight down the other end. He never really backed himself there.
He was running and he knew that someone would catch him sooner or later. But even if you have confidence, you can slow down a little bit and make another change and then keep going. But yeah, it doesn't look 100%.
There is Jude Bellingham with the recovery, the lunging challenge. And he's brought down by Íñigo Ruiz de Galarreta. Well, this is the statement that he announced himself to La Liga. That match day one last year, the year before, where he scored on the opening day in a 2-0 win 2 years ago.
Well, he scored a lot of goals in the first.
That was a brilliant season for him, especially that start. It's a 2-0 win for Real Madrid on that day.
And then since Mbappe arrived to the team, it seems like the managers have problems to find his place on the 11.
Is Mbappe still going? He's gone down. He looks towards Gil Manzano. He's awarded Athletic Club the free kick. The Frenchman can't quite believe the referee's decision. I don't think there's any contact.
Yeah, it's
on
a
Mbappe's there.
very light contact from Laporte, but not enough to. No, not at all. Not penalty.
And the referee awarded the foul after he toppled over Favorito. Libya. From challenge from Favorito. Nico Williams. Down. Trent has kept it in play. Not only that, he's found Valverde. When in doubt, they can just switch it over here. And they'll find Mbappe or Vinny. Mbappe towards his stronger right foot. Turns and finds Vinny again. Bellingham. Just behind Carreras. Bellingham on the turn. Trent chips it to the far post.
Market suspended.
And Camavinga finishes off a great team move from Real Madrid. It's 2-0 just before half-time, and that will knock the wind out of Athletic Club sails.
Well, they deserve it, isn't it? This, as you said, it was a fantastic move from right to left, left to right, switching play. Being very patient when they couldn't see the pass and coming back and going to the other side. And then the cross to the far post is sent back to the other post for Camavinga. Well, they did everything right. Possibly a little lack of intensity of Athletic Club in defense, but I think the move has been fantastic.
You can see the look of some of those Athletic Club players. Everybody's involved. Whether they're letting it run through his legs. Mbappe squaring it for Eduardo Camavinga. Scores his first goal in La Liga this season. It's a comfortable header into an empty net for him.
And the cross from Trent is perfect because there's a lot of bodies in the near post. He decides to chip it at the far post, and that was enough for Mbappe to head it back to Camavinga. Well, this is the man of the cross, the assistant, and now let's see the scorer. Fantastic piece of play.
Well, it's been a step up in quality from Real Madrid with regards to recent performances. Today at San Mamés, we were anticipating a difficult, awkward away trip for them. But so far, it's been smooth sailing. They've looked much closer to the Real Madrid which we saw earlier on the season. Show us some of these substitutes.
It's not a bad bench.
No, it's not bad. Rodrigo, Arda Güler, Gonzalo.
And someone called Hendrik that never talked about him
We've
anymore.
almost forgotten about him, haven't we?
So Gonzalo, it looks like he's ahead of him right now.
If things continue like this, it might be a chance for one of those to get some playing time today. But also having a congested calendar with Manchester City next week in the Champions League. Celta at home on Sunday.
I don't think in the case like Hendrik, if he would be thinking about, let's see,
Berenguer.
I was saying he was thinking in a possible long because he needs to play. It's going to be 2 seasons already without playing, and that's not good for him. Of course, he's young, but these type of players, they need to play regularly.
We'll see what happens in that winter transfer window. And Rego. Berenguer. Nicolas cross goes straight into the body of Álvaro Carreras. A couple of minutes of added time to be played at San Mamés. Berenguer as well to almost force the corner. Carreras clears the danger.
Well, I think we should remember also that a team like Athletic Club, Bruno, they don't have three possible key players in attack. Let's say Sancetis, one Iñaki and Robert Navarro, who was in a good moment. So the absentees depend of the team. You can feel it more or less. In the case of Athletic Club, as you said, the policy is signing basically Basque players, and they don't have a big territory to look for. When you lose three top players in attack, of course you feel it, you sense.
Especially in terms of trying to turn around a game, you don't have too many options to come off the bench and add that little bit of quality in the final third.
Well, in fact, looking at the bench, as a strikers, it's Nico Serrano, Iceta, Bujan from the youth team, and the other
Unai Gomez, who's
Selton
played
Sweat, Eder
sometimes up
Garcia. There's not many options there. So well, you never know in football, but it doesn't look good at the moment.
It's looking like a difficult day at the office for Ernesto Valverde. Courtois. Jauregui Fer. Berenguer, one final attack for Athletic Club. They need to get the ball forward or the referee's going to blow his whistle. It is half-time at San Mamés.